This is
the
AOK.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Anissa. And today we're going to be discussing the 12 key concepts.
Enough of that. Okay.
Okay, so before we start, we want to explain Theory of Knowledge is a course in IB, and in this course you need to know the 12 key concepts. This is like essential TOK information.
Your 12 key concepts are going to aid you in formulating knowledge claims and knowledge questions. The goals of these knowledge questions is to achieve a more meaningful, comprehensive understanding of how knowledge is constructed.
Right, so a knowledge question it's not just a question.
Yeah.
It's an open, contestable question about the nature, production, or acquisition of knowledge. So for an example, you're not going to ask a question, what is the boiling point of water? Instead, you're going to ask the question, how does the water reach that boiling point?
Yeah, how is the boiling point of water measured?
There you go. Okay, so we're going to go through the 12 key concepts super quickly, and then we're going to explain them to you guys. So first we have evidence, certainty, truth, interpretation, power, justification, explanation, objectivity, perspective, culture, values, and lastly, responsibility. So, number one, evidence. What can you tell us about evidence, Chris?
Evidence is your proof. It helps you to decipher how you know something. I know it because I have evidence for it.
Right. And you need to collect this evidence through reliable sources. You can't just say that you saw something on Instagram and use that as a source to back up like a belief that you have.
Also, a good TOK student will take evidence from multiple sources and then synthesize their own understanding.
Right. Not just listening to everything that you hear.
Next,
we have truth. So truth is based off of, how do you explain truth?
Truth is so hard to explain because
even in the
it's such an
TOK
elusive
book,
concept. There is no real
definition of truth.
There is no such thing as truth. Truth is impossible to come by.
Because truth is different for everybody.
Yeah.
There's no one way to see the truth.
Yeah, and we live in such a vast universe that there's always something that you haven't looked at. So you never know if anything is truly true. You always have to have some degree of uncertainty.
Right. Next, we have certainty. I said it a little unsure.
You segue.
Okay. So certainty is based off of proof also. It's like Platonists and formalists, like you learn about that.
Yeah.
Remember how we learned about like the numbers thing?
And then let's go over that because they don't know.
No, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, go over this because I know, but they don't know, so you have to, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So in math, right, we just learn math in school. You kind of are just thrown into it and you're expected to memorize it, understand the processes, the formulas. You don't really think much about it. But in reality, there's so much philosophical thought on the concept of math, on how it was discovered. The idea of math existing is debated about.
Yeah.
So there are a couple groups of thinking that you could describe yourself as, depending on what you believe, where math came from. So some people believe that math was discovered. Some people believe that math was created by humans. And then some people believe that it exists, but the processes described as math were created by people. So with certainty, that goes into the fact that you're never gonna know for sure.
Certainty is not like a on and off switch, it's more of a spectrum.
Yeah, it's also you decide for yourself when you are certain of something. Yeah.
Complete and total certainty can never be reached. You can just get as close as possible to it.
Then we have interpretation as our next concept.
Interpretation. How do I explain this? Interpretation is
what's happening?
Yeah.
What's going on?
You're taking all of your outside sources, all the outside stimuli, you're intaking it, and you're deciphering it and putting it in a way that makes sense to you. That's the best way that I can explain interpretation to you.
Next we have power.
It's the, I don't know. What does Spider-Man say? With great power comes great responsibility. It's the influence you have over other people and other things. You know?
So next we have responsibility. And this is the ethical implications of the production of knowledge. So with like spreading knowledge, with creating an idea or a concept, what responsibility do you have in its creation? Like, why are you the one who's doing it? And what's the consequence of that?
Yeah. Like if I taught you how to make a bomb.
Oh.
And then you use that bomb, am I responsible for the people whose lives were lost because you used the bomb?
Because of the bomb.
Because I shared that knowledge with you. You have to take into account responsibility when analyzing knowledge. And
it's creation.
Yeah, disseminating knowledge.
There you go. Okay, so next we have justification. So that's the reasons and evidence behind like producing certain knowledge.
Yeah.
Or sharing knowledge.
You're basically giving a reason as to why you're so sure of what you know.
Yeah. Then we have objectivity. So understanding that the knowledge that you have needs to be, or not, it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
But the concept of spreading knowledge, if you spread knowledge and your goal is to be objective, then you need to or make it unrelated to certain biases that you have.
You have to analyze the biases that you have and then try to remove that from how you disseminate that knowledge.
Right. So your own personal influence, like your own touch on what you know.
And just like certainty and truth, objectivity is never something that you can truly reach because everybody holds unconscious biases amongst themselves.
Environmental factors, nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Environmental versus like innate factors that you have that affect what you know. Yeah. Explanation. There's a good and a bad explanation that you can have in the spread of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, what makes a good explanation versus a bad explanation?
That's a great question. Your evidence, the evidence that you bring up, the language that you use to justify what you know.
Yeah, the best ones are clear.
Yeah.
They're well supported, and they're appropriate to what the context is of what you're sharing. Yeah. Then we have perspective, which refers to how knowledge is shaped by cultural and individuals' viewpoints.
Yeah.
Where that comes from. So, Chris, how does your perspective of the school, because you go here, you're a student at school, how does that affect the way that you see it?
This actually comes up a lot for me because I'll go to people and they're like, I'm like, Different Beach High School is the best school in the world, but this school sucks. And I'm like, but to me, it's the best school in the world because I go here and I have a bias for this school.
That's influencing that spread, that shared knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have culture, which is built up over so much time, like the cultural experience that has been built up over centuries of people and groups that have come together through shared beliefs and shared experiences that can shape how knowledge is what knowledge is valued and how people see what's important.
Culture has an effect on a lot of things. Culture affects your personal biases. It'll affect your perspective on certain things. Like, if I come from a culture that is Christian, then I'll have certain ideologies about certain people based on their way of life.
Right.
I'll see. It affects the way that you view the outside world.
We have values. So the guiding values and beliefs are different. Values are the guiding principles that a person or a group has in their life. So values shape our beliefs. They shape our ideas, they shape our thoughts, versus a belief that is formed off of values. Yeah. So overall, the 12 key concepts help students analyze how knowledge is constructed, evaluated, and influenced.
By using the 12 key concepts, you can be more informed about how certain knowledge claims are made and tested.
Right. So in everyday life, we want you guys to think about the 12 key concepts and kind of evaluate how your belief systems are set up.
Yeah.
Evaluate the way you talk to people and why you think the way you do.
You know, when you're telling something to your friend, you can think about the responsibility that you now have because you've disseminated that information to someone else. I've used the word disseminated 3 times in the span of 5 minutes.
How certain are you that the knowledge that you're sharing is true?
It's truth. How does your perspective and your culture shape the way that you view certain things that people do?
Right. So thank you guys so much for coming to the AOK. We'll see you guys next time.